needs to hold, meaning that it took care of this liquidity. This supply zone needs to create a new lower low. Hello everybody and welcome back to the end of session markup for 19th of July on Wednesday. So what do we have here? A very complicated price action, tricky price action from GU today. We had both sells and buys. I got involved into a buy, which was a quick 2R. But I had instead a break even on it because I was going for the weak swing high, which I'll explain in a bit at what's going on. Okay, so let's look at the 4H. What do we have here? Not much. The black candle, the bearish black candle is when the 9 a.m. For me. So price was sort of, on a pullback phase. It was going back into this little demand zone here, and then the anticipation was it might be going down. So not really, again, from this point in action, if I remove these two candles, the last three candles here, if I just look at this, buys and sells, both are equally good opportunity for me. One each will tell us a little bit more. So let's go there, and I'll explain my trade as well, or the trade idea. So if let me go back to 4H for a second. Let just explain to you the swing. So our 4H strong low is here. This is our swing structure, and what do we anticipate, right? So after the 4H boss, the price is really overextended at this point in time, right? So we are anticipating a pullback, and this is why, getting into a buys here, maybe not high probability, but again, we are in a positive order flow, a bullish order flow, and ideally we don't want to anticipate a pullback unless the pullback starts and the price tells us, right? So if you go to 1H, here we are. So price moved into this little demand zone on the 1H because it broke this structure. We had the 4H over here, and we continued for the price to flow down. Again, it broke over here, and then we had the 1H chart bearish. Then, so this is your fractal high and fractal low at this point in time, right? So this is in itself a big range. So price will have to break out of this for a bullish 1H chalk signal, or break out of this low for a bearish 1H chalk signal, right? So when price is in this such a big range, we have to play with the internal price, right? So when internal price was developing, or internal ranges was developing, what I noticed was that we had a pretty clean demand zone forming here from a nice sweep. So what I was doing was there is a demand over here. We are following the demand chain. It is a pullback, so it'll be very corrective. And we had a nice, a big demand at this pivot candle right here, right? So price came into this. Now, when I move into my lower time frame, here's what I was looking at. The price did this. For me, this is the swing range for the 1H time frame. This is the impulse, and then we have the correction, right? So at this point in time, for me, price is doing this. We go up at this point. We then pull back, and the idea was for it to go up, right? So we pulled into some level of discount for this range, but mind you, we are still in the premium of the entire 4H lane. So yes, this might play out. No, this might not play out because we're still in the premium. So that is why I say both the sells and the buys were valid at this point in time. Okay, so let me get rid of that. Okay, so when price came into this point in time, which was at a little prior to London Open, this is what I saw, and I will share my trade with you all. Yeah, there you go. So this is what I saw. So let's look at this. We had a nice aggressive jump into this demand zone. We took the 15-minute liquidity over here. Price had a very nice aggressive V-shaped reaction, and it came into this supply zone. So this supply zone over here was directly responsible for taking out this liquidity. And if it needs to hold, meaning that it took care of this liquidity, this supply zone needs to create a new lower low. If it fails to create a new lower low, and the zone is finished and we have crossed through it, then we're anticipating that this high is weak, and then we're going up. So this was the trade that I got into. Idea was very simple, that we were playing the 1H. So now we are on the 15-minute chart, right? So we are playing the 1H range, right? 1H, this one here. We were in the discount. We just had the lower high placed into the discount. Look at this range over here. The price is now pulling back up, and now we were supposed to be in a pro internal, moving back up, because the price order flow has switched bullish. We were pro 1H swing leg, and we were pro the 4H swing leg. So it was a very high probability trade in my books. And when this supply zone failed, I was targeting the week high, because I thought at this point in time, this is the 1/8 swing leg. So we thought, boom, massive impulse, correction, and time for another break of structure on the 1/8, right? So I was targeting this swing range. But unfortunately, what happened was that, let me get this. That price tagged me in. I suffered a heavy drawdown. At this point in time, I was a little anxious, but then had a break even. I was a little cool with that. Went higher. I was anticipating it to go, but then price reversed on me pretty heavily, and then took me out for a break even. Okay, so things like this happen, but the entire idea, the narrative of the trade, for me was a good narrative for me to jump into this trade. All right, guys, that will be a wrap, and we'll catch you all tomorrow with the pre-session on 20th of July. Take care, guys. Bye-bye now.